Everyone, this is Dion Soul. I hope everyone is doing well. And what we got going on today is we have some latest updates for the uh, Media Hype Train's H135 helicopter. And so today we're going to do a flight with it, and it's actually a certification flight because also a twofer for this video this time around, and that's also we have an update for Neofly as well, and I would just do the highlights of everything, at least the things that I noticed right away. So, as you can see, the helicopter, I was able to merge my existing livery that I made, and so that's all working good. The developer has put back in the ability to be able to open the door, and you notice that you can open the door with the hitbox. I don't know why the hitbox is over here on this pylon instead of right here. There's got to be a reason why they couldn't put the hitbox on the door handle itself. But it'd be kind of nice for an immersion point of view that the developer would actually put the hitbox on the somehow or another figure out a way to be able to put it on the door handle itself, because this helicopter basically, from my understanding, this helicopter is basically a sim within a sim. Because, as everybody knows, and everybody's repeated it over and over again, that that there's no helicopters, helicopter support available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So Media Hype Train has created their own sim within a sim. With that kind of mindset, if you have the technical know-how, anybody can create anything in Microsoft Flight Simulator and create your own create your own thing, if that's how it goes. I may be talking out of turn, I don't know, but based on logical deduction here, because of what has transpired to this point. So when people say, well, we can't do this because the SDK it won't allow us to do that, I basically say hogwash. I say BS, because what Media Hype Train has done is proven that they basically have created, a sim within a sim to be able to make the helicopter be a helicopter in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we get the eye candy. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a detailed model that's slowly getting better over time. Is it study level yet? Probably not, but I'm going to reserve that kind of thing to people like Bug Eater 64 and others who have actually flown helicopters for real and have been involved in helicopters for real that I have not. But for me, as a normie, as some people say, some people call us normies. When it's not your thing, you're a normie. That's that's kind of the old trope. And a normie is not a bad thing. The normies are the majority of people, and I'm a normie on some things, and other things I'm not a normie. On flight simulation, I'm not a normie, but on helicopters, I'm a normie because I have no idea. But that's enough of that. I'm sitting there going off on that tangent. But anyway, so yeah, there's hitboxes, especially right there, instead of on the doors. So that would be nice. Now, to open these back doors here, I don't know if there's a hitbox on the outside to open these back doors or not, or the thing here. I think that's controlled by the switch that's inside the cockpit, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. But because we're here, we'll go ahead and see if we can do it. And unfortunately, no. So there's no hitbox right here to be able to do that. So, and that's fine. Am I tripping on that? Hell no. I'm not tripping on it at all. It's like, yeah, whatever. But it'd just be kind of convenient. Okay, now we do have a hitbox right here, but that's probably for something I just turned on inside. Yeah. Oh well. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get on inside the helicopter. So we'll go ahead and do our out-of-body experience, kind of, sorta, and get inside the helicopter. And here we are. We'll go ahead and close the door. So they're using these pylons because that is a static thing in the model instead of something that is dynamic, which is the actual door itself moving. So that's probably why the hitbox has to be where it's at and cannot be, here where this handle is. It'd be nice to be able to break that, to get that immersion up, and maybe they'll figure it out over time. They'll figure out, hey, okay, there's got to be a way to do this, and then they'll put their heads together, and eventually they'll figure out. But for now, we got the door, right here. Okay, so inside the cockpit, as you can see, On the outside, things have changed now. Or I'm sorry, in here we got more details on the radio. The radio shacks are a little bit more detailed. The pedestal column here is more detailed since my last video, and the I forgot what you called this. This is the cyclic, right? Collective. This is the collective, and you can see the collective is changing. Now you can actually move the collective. And now what you just saw right there is you saw me. I had to sync my Cytec throttle quadrant, and as you saw, it kind of jumped down real quick for that brief moment. You can go back in the video and see. And that's just so basically what I've done is I just synced, my and that's all you really control. How you do is you bind your throttle, your whatever you want to bind, but it's set up for your throttle to be your collective, and that's how it's set up. And right now it's down, and so if you go, just move it and it goes up, and now you're up in the air, and now you're on the ground. What they've done to make it work is they've taken the engine and this video is geared towards people that are either on the fence with this helicopter or just want to know how things are done. And I can only surmise. This is my educated guess, and I should be clear on that. This is my educated guess, and that's the reason why they have the FADEC installed in here. So then that way, because right here would be the throttle. Right here, this part of the collective would be the throttle. And obviously, you can't be turning it with a mouse. So what they did is they said, okay, fine, we'll introduce a FADEC system, so we have the workaround, so you don't have the ability to adjust the throttle. And instead, they're just binding the throttle for the collective, so then that way you go up and down and control your up and down, which to me is fine. To hardcore helicopter pilots, they'll probably say, oh, that's not real, blah, blah, blah. But hey, you have to have a little bit of concessions here and there. But that's all it is. And basically, when you bind this to your throttle or whatever device you have, whatever peripheral you have, when you bind it to the throttle, make sure in Microsoft Flight Simulator it is set to throttle 1. So let me go over here real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. As you can see, it's the throttle axis only. And I just said throttle 1, my bad, because that's exactly what they don't want you to do. I just told you what they don't want you to do. This is what they want you to do. They want you to put it on the throttle axis only. And there's a throttle axis. There is your pedals for your torque pedals. Which, by the way, so I've already showed you this, so I can get out of this. So your torque pedals, that's what's new with this, is now your torque pedals are actually working now, or animated now, which is cool. I like that. And then your cyclic is now, now animated, which is cool. I wish I had a stick. I do have my X52 Pro. But on my desk with my configuration, I have it set up. It's just not doable. So I'm having to use my honeycomb yoke as which is difficult. And I'm probably going to wear out my my honeycomb yoke faster because there's the way things are. But anyway, so all these animations are now available to us, which is awesome. They figured out how to do it, and again. This is a sim within a sim, I think is the mindset of how they're making this helicopter. Take the SDK of Asobo, throw it out the window, pretty much. I'm not going to say absolute, but that's pretty much how this is going down the road because of what I've said before, and I'm sounding like a broken record. They've added a compass. What do we call that thing that has a little ball and it has a bunch of numbers on it? It's called a compass. And so they got a compass on there. They've added the fire extinguishers. I don't know if these are working. I think these are just static right now. And you see the annunciator panel. I didn't notice it working, but we will find out together. What this is right here, I don't know what this is. We'll figure that out. They have added a little bitty, like a cell phone tablet looking thing, which is handy. This right here is handy, and you'll see it in its operation here in a minute, and you can see how the reflections of me moving it around is reflecting off the glass. Pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and leave that out because we're going to need it anyway. Yes, I lose a little bit of my visibility looking out this area right here, but it's not a big deal. You can always just, what I'm doing right now, and that is you just close it off. So that's that. The overhead panel is becoming more functional, and you can see when you mouse over, it tells you what things are now assigned. The big thing, or the thing that jumps out at you, is right here. It says windshield off. What that windshield off means is there is a bug that they're still working on, that when the rain effects are raining, it causes the aircraft to go crazy. I said it in the documentation, but to be frankly blunt and honest with you, I forgot what happens. So when you see the bug yourself, you'll know when it starts to rain. You just turn it off, and then you can see some things go away. Now it's on, something just went away, and now something is back. I'm in Southern California, so it hardly ever rains in California. Okay, never mind. It rains in California. It hardly ever rains in California, so for me, I don't care. I'm in Southern California, and if you open the doors, this is where the door switch is now. And as you can see, if you go out here real quick, we'll just clip right through. You can see the doors here, and the cargo has opened up now, which is cool. And they put a little bitty identifier thing right here. I noticed that before. That might be that might be your strobe lights, and if that is the strobe lights, I could see right off the bat what they need to figure out is how to model this where that is clear instead of like white. At least in this, in this image right here, it's white instead of clear. That should be clear, and you should be able to see the filament inside there. Yes, I know I'm nitpicking. Sorry about that. I am nitpicking. See, there's one. Yeah, see, that's what it is. And there we go. I'll get my mouse to cooperate here. But yeah, that's what it's just white right now. It just needs to be clear. So there's some TLC needs to be done with that to make that clear and show the filament on the inside. And then when the strobes are on, you'd be able to see the flash when you're outside. The actual filament, diffusing and then getting bright and diffusing, getting bright. I know that's getting granular, but hey, eventually they'll have it set up here one day where you'll be able to click on all these little tabs right here to check the oil and all the fluids in the aircraft and just basically do a real full service walk around. I'm sure the developer will probably do that someday, because if they're aviation enthusiasts just like us, and they probably want to have their aircraft as best as it possibly can be. So that would be cool. That would be cool down the road. Anyway, so that's what that is. That just opens and closes the doors now. None of these are working yet. But like I say, parking brake. Now, the only reason why the parking brake here, yes, some helicopters do have parking brakes because they are wheeled versions. Kind of like the one that comes to mind right off the bat is Airwolf in the old Airwolf television series back in the day. Cue the music. And yeah, so that's why that's there, and also for economy modules such as Neofly and other things to be able to other economy modules. Now, I will say right off the bat, I tried to buy a H135 from FS Economy, and it failed. It would not, the FS Economy client would not recognize and say, hey, you have this alias, or this alias is you have this airplane, do you want to use this airplane for this alias? It didn't work out. And so I end up taking a loss on buying the aircraft and then immediately just selling it back to the bank. And so I took a loss on FS Economy on that because it wouldn't work. Maybe it's something that I need to do that's tribal knowledge that's not written down anywhere. I don't know. So I gave up on it. So this helicopter, as far as my point of view is concerned, this helicopter is not available on FS Economy. And the reason why I'm saying that right now, because that will raise an eyebrow to say somebody to say, hey, Dion, you're wrong. You do this, this, and this, and then you make it happen. So that's why I said that. So that gets somebody the incentive to prove me wrong, and then actually give me then I would say, show me how to do it, or tell me how to do it, or do a video on it, and I'll go to your YouTube channel and I'll watch it. How to make this helicopter work in FS economy. I'd be a happy camper because this aerocopter is a blast. It's fun. It's just, I don't know how, I've been saying it throughout this all my videos on this helicopter. This helicopter is just fun. And I mean, when this helicopter is just a good capital. I need to create a freaking thing over here that's, it's got big, huge FUN right there. I'll put it right there. FUN, fun. Because it is. It's just fun. I can't speak highly enough. But anyway, so like I said, so those are the buttons up there. Now this forward and aft fuel, you'll notice here on the enunciator panel down here where my mouse is, you'll notice that these things are like they're off. They're letting you know that they're off. Now, I don't know if they're supposed to be on or off. I thought these would just be, aft fuel on, I was assuming now, and of course, assumption makes an ass out of you and me and everybody. I was assuming that these were just a transfer switches where you transfer fuel where one fuel gets, out of balance between one. But I guess it's just fuel pumps for both tanks to go into the engines. So I guess that's what it is and not what I thought it was. So, you got your aft fuel and your other fuel. So I thought that's what, I didn't know that's what it was. So anyway, that's what those are. And then everything else is the lights. All self-explanatory, you turn them on and off, and I think they're all not working right now because there. Maybe I got to turn everything on. There. Now will they work? Okay, yeah, I had to have the battery power on. Okay, that's what it was. All right. GPU button. We did have a GPU button here. On the screens, it may still be there, but we'll find out here in a second. So let's go ahead and turn on the battery power right now. Okay, so you have the battery, you have the little icon right here, and when I click on it, it doesn't come on. So I do not know where now the button is for the ground power unit or because you'll see it you see right here, it says EPU available. You click on that, see if that does it. No. So I don't know, we'll go ahead and turn on our clock here. So I don't know where to turn on the GPU at this juncture. That's panel lights, and then none of these buttons are now working. Now they're not working. So I don't know where. See, it's telling me, hey, you better do something with your power or get these engines turned on because you're going to drain the battery. So I have it outside so I'll just turn it on this way. Now you see the icon turn from white to green. Now we are not on battery power. Now we are on ground power. Now if I turn it back off, now the battery is on, and you see 101 volts. Now I turn it back on. Now you see the generator is consuming 57 volts, basically halved, nearly halved. Is it halved what it did? Well, anyway. So that's the logic there on how to get the GPU. I had to bind it to one of my SciTech my throttle quadrants to turn on the GPU. So now we're on the ground power unit, or whatever. I saw a thing down here, a green. But anyway. So that's that. Hydraulics are fail and all that sort of thing because I don't have it on. And it says EPU is now connected. And it says aft and forward fuel pumps are yellow. So I'll go ahead and just turn that on. Now let's go ahead and turn on pitot heat and then the aft one. So now those are all on. And then these right here, but they kind of collide with each other. When these move up, the hitbox kind of collides with these a little bit. So, and then of course these are all the lights which we will actually, now this right here says pitot heat. Okay, that's down there. This is the landing light down here. So let's go ahead and go F8 or 8 here, function 8 or whatever it is. And then you can see windshield on and off. And the doors. and cabin lights, navigation lights, beacon lights, blah, 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 all that other stuff. Okay, so nothing special there. That's easily figured out. If I want to create a flight plan real quick, this is where you click on for your advanced modes of flight operations. Of course, I go advanced because I want it to be as hard as possible so I can learn. The MFD, now we're in the, I don't know if we're in the PFD or MFD. There's the MFD. There's a PFD. So I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway, so let's let this load up here. It should load, yeah, from Palmdale or from Lancaster, California to Tehachapi. The reason why we're going there because it's a nice short run, and this is my qualification flight for this aircraft for Neofly. So that's what's going on with that. So that's why. So this is all set and ready to go, and that's all I want to do just to make sure everything is set. You can add waypoints and everything else. There is in the documentation there is a way to be able to put the GTN 750 beta mod into this. That is another development group is doing a GTN 750 for the G1000 avionics package that comes in all the Microsoft Flight Simulator airplanes. I've tried it. It does not have airways, so you just can't, I'll give you a quick example. I leave KWJF, I put in Palmdale VOR, POMD, and then there is no option for me to select an airway, airway 12 as an example. And then I would click airway 12, and then from airway 12, it would give me all the points for me to do the exit that highway off of, which let's say that we are going to, as an example, let's say we are going to Albuquerque, New Mexico, all the way across the country here in the States. I would look for the ABQ, and then I put ABQ. I would click on that ABQ, and then it would fill in all the waypoints from that point all the way there. And then with the GTN 750, that last waypoint or the waypoint before, you can actually put in the altitude of where your cruising altitude is, and then it would fill in all the altitude waypoints with that altitude from that point all the way back to where you're taking off. Then, of course, if you're having if you're doing procedures where you're doing a procedure out, then departure, then it would sync everything up. So they've got a long way to go on that GTN 750 mod. I like the fact that they are using what is out of the box with Microsoft Flight as far as the waypoints are concerned, or if you're using Navigraph, all those are available because it's all all into the sim. So it's in the right direction. It just didn't have the airways, and because it didn't have the airways, it's like, what's the point? I can just use this thing right here and I can accomplish the same task. So it's not really worth, right now, that GTN 750 mod that they're working on is not really worth it to me. Now, unless I miss something, but as people know, how I fly or how I roll is I don't need to read the instructions. The instructions are there for reference. I use my experience, my aviation experience or flight simulation aviation experience to get into an aircraft. Oh, this is what this does, and I'm off and I'm running my way. So when you develop an aircraft that is that I wouldn't say easy, or just that kind of experience where you can get in and go, then you have a good quality aircraft. This aircraft right here, this helicopter, is that way. It is. If you have experience to draw from, then there is. Then you can get in this helicopter and fly and be on your way in a matter of a matter of minutes. I'll just say minutes just to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean that's when you have a good flight model and a good. Even at study level, if you draw from your personal experience on how aircrafts are supposed to work based on your experience of flying other aircraft, then you just boom, 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 and you're gone. And that's the way it should be. And then you use if there's nuances that you didn't understand, then you go to the POH. Well, In this case, in our world, it's the documentation, and then you look up and see what you have, what little finer things you need to learn to do that is outside the scope of what you've already learned, that kind of thing. So anyway, so that's that there. So going off on a tangent right there, but again, that's subjective. That's my opinion. That's how I do things. Some people may disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. And, you know, I don't care. You can disagree with me all you want. I don't care. You can agree and disagree, or if you have a good, strong argument, you may change my mind. If you have a good enough argument, no problem. I'm open. But anyway, so nothing's going on here. All this is the same as before, as the last video showing you all this stuff right here. They've changed this up a little bit. Now you got the spotlight. The spotlight is cool. I played around with it at night. You have to bind your mixture 3 and your mixture 4 on your, going in your settings here and your controls, and and you go in and you actually bind your mixture 3 and your mixture 4, and then when you do that, that activates your be able to do the axis for your spotlight. So that's fun. It's a fun thing. It's cool. I like it. It's going to come handy when you start doing SARS missions and whatnot, where you're trying to find in the dark, your target and whatnot. This is going to be handy. And so this is the like I say again, this is the spotlight. And of course, there, like I said before, I had to bind for the external power, bind a key for that. And then resetting your rudder trim is handy to have. I highly recommend you binding a key for resetting the trim, your rudder trim, because we're going to talk about here in a couple of minutes here about rudder and whatnot, which actuality rudder is torque in the helicopter, from my understanding, from what I've been told. Because like I said, helicopters are out of my wheelhouse. I'm learning all this stuff, and I'm having a blast. So, but like I said, the starter switch hold and whatnot, I tried to bind the keys to start the helicopter, and the varometer switch. What this varometer switch is that I bound is your FADEC. You can control the FADEC on and off by binding the key to this varometer switch. If you didn't do that, it's just going to start the engines. It's going to go start engine 1, start engine 2, and then FADEC goes on, and you're ready to fly. So you lose that control of turning a switch on and off for the FADEC. I didn't see it. I don't see the FADEC switch in here anymore. It used to be right here, but since then it's no longer here. And I still don't know what this tranning is, or whatever this is. I think this is just a facade. I'm sure somebody in comments can tell me what that is, because I don't know. But anyway, so as far as torque is concerned, so let's say that I change my torque. Okay, let me go back. Okay, right here, 3-1. I found for me when I'm taking off, to have that nice strong, taking off nice and level and nice and slow and just going up and out. I put the torque at plus. So you can see it's a plus 0.31. If I'm over here, then it's actually gonna make the helicopter take off and immediately spin. Of course, I'm doing this from my point of view and not your point of view in the camera, but it immediately wants to spin to the left. So what I do is I put this in right here like this to plus 31, and then when I take off, the aircraft, not absolute, because it's based on the wind. I mean, the wind could be going like right now. If you look, you look right here, the winds are coming from this direction over here at 8 knots. They're gonna or 10 knots, so they're kind of gusting a couple of knots there. As as I'm taking off, it's gonna kind of blow me off to my left when I get off the ground, because you are at the mercy of the wind, just like you are in an airplane or anything else that's off the ground. So, so the torque thing is, you put that in there. This has been a nice welcome addition that Hype Train Media has done to put that in there. Setting your barometric pressure, you still have to use the B key to set your barometric pressure. I mean, you can do it individually like I'm doing it right now, but as far as if you want that quick, so let's go right over here Let's see if it'll. Well, actually, it just made me a liar. Look at there. Let's go down here to 292, and then I'll hit the barometric pressure. Boom! It just automatically. So never mind. It's doing it. Never mind. And then right now, if I hit on altimeter or altitude, now it's gonna put me where my altitude is right now. And then heading is going to be where the heading is, where the nose is pointing for the helicopter right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this up to. We're going to end up going over those mountains. So those mountains, let's say, and let's go 6,500 feet, and then for the 6,500 feet to go up and over the mountains, and we're good to go. Yeah, we should be fine. If not, I'll just take over the helicopter and go. So the GPS is just getting better and better and better. It still wigs out for me a little bit here and there, but all in all, it's perfectly fine. If you can do 100 nautical mile, 150 nautical mile trips in this helicopter with no problems, and you should have a good experience. You have a more fun experience when you're hand flying this aircraft on your own, and you are, and you are not using, you're not using a lot of automation. I like the direction that the developer is going, is having a mixed bag of full automation to no automation, and then you can pick and choose as the pilot what automation you want. So that to me is very, very good. All this stuff hasn't changed from the last video I did, other than it's been more refined. But as far as the basic functionality, nothing has changed. Like you've seen in my previous video, weather is from a different from this point of view. You click on the weather, and then there's the weather comes up. Your directional weather, top down menu, and then slice the top down or slice the side. And you can tell. Now I don't know. Let's find out. Let's look here. Let's see if this works. Okay, it does not. So we don't have these knobs still working, and that's fine. I don't really care if the knobs work or not, to be honest with you. We got this right here, and this probably would be easier to control actually when you're in flight than using this method instead of. Now, can you move around? You can still move around, and then you go back to focus, and then it focuses back to where you are, and you can see an airplane coming in right there. So being able to see the airplanes and everything, there's just not enough screens. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens. You just don't have enough room for 5 screens. But like I said, and as a matter of fact, let's just for funsies, so we see that airplane's about ready to fly over. Let's see if it's actually here. See if we see it fly over here. Yep, there it is. Is that it? That's the boom. Oh well, that was a tangent that didn't work out. Maybe he's too high for me to see him. I don't know. Anyway, so like I said, so that's what all that is. So nothing's changed there all that much. See, now he should be over here somewhere. I still can't see him. Anyway. Squirrel, not important. A space, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's just putting the air spaces. I like the air spaces. Air spaces are good. I just wish there was 2,500 to 5,000 feet, identifications here. And that sort of thing. Here at Palmdale would be, I think it was 3,500 or something like that to 10,000 or something like that. I don't remember, or it might be surface to 10,000 with Palmdale, because Palmdale, this is Plant 42, and this is where they make all the super secret stuffs, from time to time. At least Lockheed used to. I don't know if they still do. That's a disclaimer. If they are, then I'm not getting myself in trouble. And that sort of thing. So anyway, like I said, I won't dwell on this too much more because I'm already going too far as it is already. Anyway, so that's that. And of course, I'm going to put this over here. So we'll start the airplane, go back over here, and we'll put it in right there like that. And then this right here, we're going to go over here to synthetic vision. So that's all cool. Clock hasn't changed. Like I say again, miscellaneous. I could put the miscellaneous over here to adjust my miscellaneous stuff, or I can go over here. At the start, I would go over here. Now this is the new thing. This is the electronic flight bag thing. It's a third-party app that is outside the sim. and I don't have it. I tried to find it. They want you to go over to their Discord server and all this other happy stuff. And as some of you know, I do not. I have a Discord server, and but I don't do anything with Discord anymore. And it's just some. There's drama with Discord, with me and Discord. I'll just leave it at that. And so I don't mess with Discord. I'm on Gilded, and Gilded is basically a Discord clone, I guess you could say. That is a free speech platform that basically say whatever the hell you want. We don't care. All we want is, to be left alone. Let their users be left alone. Let me say it that way. I'll just leave it at that. And so I'm on Gilded, so that's why I'm not on Discord. And so I don't have access to this EFB app thing, and so I just don't have access to it. I just don't use it. But it's here for you. You guys have to figure it out on your own, because, like I say again, I don't have access to that thing. So anyway, so that's pretty much the size of that. I think I kind of went over everything pretty much that that's new compared to what the last video was. Kind of spilled over. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on over to. We'll go ahead and jump on over here to Neofly. What's changed with Neofly? Basically, with version 3.0, they introduced a new thing with 3D scenery now, which basically now you actually see little peoples with ambulances and things like that. It was $10, so it's a Starbucks coffee. Yes, full disclosure, I did pay for it, so now. I still got all three. I have all three of them, so I spent the money. So that's a total of, well, I think it's up to $20 now. When you go to their website now, it's $20, and you get all three of them, all three add-ons, and that sort of thing. So I just have it just because it was $10. I'm not really tripping on $10. If it was, $20 or $30 for that, then yes, I would not have paid for it. But $10, I'm not going to lose any sleep over losing $10. Not at all. On this screen right here, as you can see, this is a new added feature that Neofly has done, which is the multiplayer aspect. So basically, you can set it up where I'm assuming now, because I haven't read the instructions, so I'm going out on a limb here, that basically you can set up your in my case, Solus Wings, and a Solus Wings server with a password, and then you connect to it, and then I can have all my buddies fly with me with the Solus Wings, and then we can just make the company a bunch of money and whatnot and that sort of thing. And so that way it adds a little bit of, oh, well, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that, and it made the company more money, or so-and-so dropped an airplane, so now we got to go buy another airplane. There's things like that, scenarios like that. So the multiplayer thing is good. I just wish they would have done it via via a website instead, and not use us as a client. There's pros and cons to that. The pro is that using it here, where you're creating your own server here locally, the pro is that it's decentralized, so it's not readily outside the world where everybody knows it. But the flip side is that people that do know it, and if you happen to get a nefarious character that's is all smiles and roses and unicorns on the outside, but on the inside they're trying to hack into your system to be able to basically get your credit cards, your key loggers, and everything else to steal from you. This right here, to me, unless somebody can ease my concern, this right here would just basically, I am giving them a gateway to get into my system. And to put a keylogger in or whatever. Now, I'm sure Neofly and probably others, Dion, you don't have to worry about that. Well, give me some kind of insurance that I don't have to worry about that. Then I would be more open to this. What I wish Neofly would have done is they would have actually made this a website instead, where it's a secure website, where, kind of like what FS Economy does, what SimBuddy did, what flightjobs.net does, with other clients that are online. I wish they would have done it that way. But there's pros and cons to both sides. And for me, the biggest con is the fact that if somebody gets my IP address and they get the port, and I'm telling my Microsoft client, or I'm telling my operating system here that, yeah, this IP address and this port is okay for you to get in, for this guy to get into my system. That just, to me, just opens the door for somebody to hack my system, no matter if, whatever. So this idea, that is more important to me than anything else. So I'm not even going to use the multiplayer thing until that could be resolved. I just don't want to take this. It's not worth the risk. I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to create drama for myself. So if somebody from Neofly, or if users of Neofly can assure me that, oh, this is not a problem, all you got to do is this, and this, and they can't hack you, But that's basically what it was. It's just my IP address, and my IP address, by the way, changes. It's not always the same. I have a dynamic IP address. My IP address is not static, and then a port number. And if they have those two things, that's concerning. So that's pretty much my little thing about it. If you want to use the multiplayer thing, it probably works fine. It'd probably be awesome. I would love to have my fellow flight simmers we'd all fly together and whatnot. That would be epic. But the way they went about it, I have to reserve pause. I have to have pause, and I just can't take the chance. So that's too bad. For me personally, right now, a wasted feature. It's too bad. It is what it is. Anyway, so moving along, nothing's changed here. You take out loans, everything is same. I always stressed, always take out when you get an aircraft, take out insurance, that kind of thing. Nothing new there. If you want to see how to use all these things, I do have a previous video that you guys can go check out, and how to use all this stuff. I'm not going to go into details. He's added some things since my last video regarding the maximum weight. Let's say that I want jobs that are only going to have 500 pounds. You put that in there and you put the check mark. Now it's only going to display jobs with 500 pounds. Same with maximum passengers. Same type of scenario. If I only have 6 passengers, it's going to show 6 passengers. Destination, if I put in here I'm only want to go 150 nautical miles, then I come over here and I hit all, and then now it's only going to show me jobs that are less than 150 miles or less. So that's, nothing's changed there. He's added to try to control the length of the runways, because in my previous video I talked about how how there needs to be some kind of stipulation in here to say, hey, can you put the length of runway in here, so then that way it's only going to give me jobs that my airplane can land at, instead of giving me a job that's some little hole-in-the-wall private airport. That's the one thing I wish there was able to eradicate from this system, is little hole-in-the-wall, 1,000-foot runway airports. If you're in an Airbus 320 and you get this job that's going to make you $300,000, and then you go to it and you find out that, oh yeah, it's over here at so and so ranch, it's only 1,000-foot runway. Those scenarios still happen. I think they're trying to combat that with ILS and hard surface, and lights, so then that way it would take some of those, because some of those airports those particular little airports are not going to have an ILS, they're not going to have hard surface, and they're not going to have lights. So that would be I guess right now, that is the workaround solution to be able to limit your aircraft to only go in those categories of locations, and then at 150 nautical miles, then it's going to be, and there's all your jobs. And that sort of thing, and it's only going to give you the jobs for those airports that meet these criteria. So it's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's cool. It's all right. As far as the type of missions, humanitarian and whatnot, an airline. I'm not an airline pilot. I'm a bush pilot slash VFR guy, so I can give a rat's rear about airlines. So I like the fact that this is here and it now saves. So once you set this up and then you exit out and you come back in, it's going to retain which ones are checked and which ones aren't. That's a big help. A big help. If you're not doing helicopters, there's no point in putting VIP helo jobs. So you would uncheck that. That sort of thing. Illicit cargo. Illicit cargo is cool. The emergency missions and the SARS missions are, of course, are very good. I really enjoy them. But the illicit cargo thing, you get a lot of. Even though I am set at 3-to-1 on probability. It sure is happening quite a bit where I'm flying along and there's another trick I'm going to show you guys here in a second. I'm flying along and then all of a sudden, hey, the customer wants you to go over here, or you've got sensitive goods, or you've got goods that appear to be suspect, so you need to go over here. And I get those missions quite often. And even though I've got a 3-to-1, like I said, I got 3-to-1 ratio set up here, I get those quite a bit. And that really messes you up when you do this method of making extra money. And I'm going to show you that now. Let's say I pick this job right here in Paso Robles. That's what KPBR is. I just saw the code right there, and I knew that was Paso Robles. So let's say we got Paso Robles here, and then I'm going to go over here to trading, and I'm going to put in KPBR. I think that's what it was, right? KPBR? KPRB. See, I said it backwards. Dyslexia. Dyslexia is setting in. KPRB. Boom. Now, it's giving me jobs. Now, the light color green is telling me, hey, this is where you're going to make the most money, and you're going to carry 800 pounds. It's going to cost you $12,000, and you're carrying 863 pounds, and the actual item selected is 863 pounds, which tells me that, and it's what, coffee? Is that coffee or drugs? Oh, that's coffee. See, that looks like, every time I see that, it looks like marijuana. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so this is going to be the most, I'm going to make it, so on this job right here, what I would do is I would take this job for $12,000, and then I would go ahead and add and buy. I'm not going to do, because we're doing another mission right now, so I'm not going to do it. But it's got this, I would buy these things, and then when I would go to fly, it would add the goods and the mission weight at the same time, and then I would do that mission, and I would make that extra $12,000 plus the extra $2,500 on that mission. So then I would get extra money. So it's advantageous for you to do these missions and a trading mission, if it's available, that go hand in hand. You just make extra money, Simple little pro tip there. You make extra money. And then if you still have room left over, your remaining cargo is 2,300 pounds. So you take that 2,300 pounds minus the 800 pounds, and then minus the 863 pounds. So whatever you got left over is what you're going to have, because you see, this is already calculating how much fuel. Well, see, right now my fuel is, I've already got 800 pounds of fuel in here. I filled up before I even start doing this or this. And so by doing that, by having my fuel already, I already got my fuel in place. I already did my fuel. Now when I take this mission and this mission, this is already taking into account of how much fuel I have in my tank, or in there. The only thing it does not take into account is your pilot, which is 170 pounds. I wish Neofly would just arbitrarily make a third thing that says payload or pilot, or just automatically add it, or have it already calculated, so you don't have to sit there and add 863 plus 869 plus 170, which is going to give you your total payload weight. I mean, if you have the chance to add the automation, just do it. Why not? Just makes it easier on the user. Don't have to calculate it. So So that's how you would do that to make extra money. It's only gonna be $2,000, but also too, when you take out a loan, like I did, I took out a loan of 1.2 million because I knew this aircraft was going to be, and it was convenient because it was actually available here at KWJF, and there should be another one here. It was at $800,000, and here it is right here, $886,000. So it was $886,000. So it was cheaper for me to buy this than it was to buy the Embraer 110. Also, the Embraer 110, there is some drama with that aircraft, going off on a tangent right now, that the weights and balances don't line up. If you put in what it says in Microsoft Flight Simulator into Neofly, it's like it has a multiplier, and it multiplies out where you work it out where you can only put 2,000 pounds of usable cargo in that Embraer 110, when in actuality you can put up to 4,000 pounds in there, according to Microsoft Flight Simulator itself. Now, granted, you don't have a lot of fuel when you do that kind of scenario, but because the trade-off between payload is fuel, payload. And of course that is with everything, but for some reason that particular airplane has got a bug with Neofly that, at least it's been my personal experience so far, that just messes everything up. And so I'm sitting there going, like, I'm going to take 2,850 pounds because I can take 4,000 pounds. I got enough fuel for the job. So I put in all these factors and everything is happy-go-lucky. But then when I actually go to start the flight, the little red light here never comes on when I put in the actual information. So it's just a bug with that airplane and Neofly, and I don't know how to fix it. I can't fix it on my end. That's just something that somebody smarter than me needs to go in there and try to figure it out and then fix it. So, and it's really sad because what I bought the Embraer 110 for by Next Gen Simulations was for Neofly. That was why I bought it, was for that, to take advantage of that 4,000 or 3,500, and the fact I wanted to fly the plane, that twin-engine turboprop. Because I like the plane. I've always liked the Embraer 110s. I like Embraer in general. I think Embraer is a good aircraft manufacturer. I put them right there with Boeing and everybody else. They're our brothers in arms, so to speak, here on the Western Hemisphere. So yeah, I like Embraer. But anyway, so it is what it is. So, and until that's figured out and fixed, it is what it is. But anyway, so like I said, the real big standout thing was this, and then of course the 3D thing. You just pay $10 for it if you've already got the previous, or you can buy the whole kit and caboodle with all add-ons for $20, I believe it was, over on. Let me see if I can click on that and see if it'll take me there. Looks like it will. It'll take a sweet ass time. Alright, there it is. So yeah, you scroll down here and there it is, $20. So you can get the whole kit and caboodle for $20. And I use the product, like I've said before in my previous video, I use the product, and so I'm not tripping on it. I use the product, so if I give them $10, hey, that's the cost of doing business. I use their product, so I'll give them some money for it. Like I said, they're all big high on Discord. Everybody's high on Discord, and so if you want to talk to them on Discord, Discord's available. I've already said my piece about Discord. Anyway, so that's pretty much the size of it. So I think we're all done here. All we need to do now is just go fly this airplane. So let's go ahead and click on this, and I got to click on the mission, which is, this is a training mission. Let me go over here to my training mission. And did I have to, when I reset this, did it mess up? Supposed to be, I guess it messed up. Okay, so I'll be right back and we'll get this thing set up and ready to go. Alright, so what I did is I spammed, the flight thing, or to do my qualification for this aircraft, which is a Class D, because it is a multi-turboprop. And so now we're going to, after about 4 or 5 tries of spamming this button, we are going to go to Mojave. Nice 19-mile flight, nice and short and sweet, makes things easy. And the mission weight is my inspector, which is 190 pounds. And then I'll put my fat butt in there, which is 215 pounds. So the combination of that weight is what's going to be the payload. And then we will go ahead and fly this flight.
Transporter to dispatch. Welcome to your qualification mission.
And so now what I got to do here is I got to check, because I did that before I started this video, but now I got to fix this and change this to move this waypoint and then add the destination. That's going to be Mojave, KMHV, right? Mojave. All right, so there you go. So I fixed that, so now it knows where to go, and so we're good to go there. So now she's all happy. So she's just wanting me to signify that we're actually inside the cab or inside the aircraft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle the brake, and then that will kick off the mission.
Transporter, you must complete this mission to be allowed to use this category of aircraft in our company.
Okay.
Transporter form dispatch. To complete the qualification, take care of your fly and landing.
So I got to take care of my fly and landing. All right, so we're good to go there. All we got to do now, we can simulate that the guy is getting into the aircraft. Okay, hi buddy, how you doing? Hey, is all doing well? How's the family? Good. Same here. Yeah, we're just gonna get into another airplane here. So another aircraft. So we're gonna take off and get certified in this bad boy. Of course, we'd be saying all that way before in the office, setting everything up. So never mind. Forget that role-playing aspect. That's kind of cheesy anyway. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get set up and ready to go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start this aircraft. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on all my switches. Go ahead and turn on my navigation stuff. Go ahead and make sure everything is set and ready to go. This will all come back. And then now it's waiting for me because now we are, because it reset. We're still on GPU right now, because you can see the little plug-in is green. And then we'll go ahead and start. Now this is called a scroll. So I just click once, and it moved it to the center. Let's see what happens with that. That's pretty cool. Try to stay in line with the blades. Such a cool helicopter. You can see the heat blades. Now let's see if it actually started the second one too. No, it did not start the second one. And it still says starter. And we're at idle, so that's good. Now we're going to start engine number 2. One click with the mouse. Or my mouse wheel. I just went one notch up on my mouse wheel. And they're at idle, which means that the FADEC right now is not initiated. You can see the heat blur on this side, but not on this side yet. That's good. That's good modeling. Very good modeling. Now you're starting to see the heat blur coming out of here. And we are still in the starter mode, so it hasn't got up yet. It says power up test OK. Very good. Didn't know that was a thing. Okay, now we're going to get rid of the GP or the ground power unit, also known as the GPU. There. So now it says it's available but not activated. You can see the plug is now gone. Well, that's all good. Now, there's two options here. I can either hit that V Vivo, whatever that button I push to be able to go in to activate the, or I can just go like, or I can just activate it by just going one more click up, and that's how it is. Okay. So it's 2 notches on your mouse scroll wheel. On your mouse scroll wheel, up 1 is to start each engine on each side, and then 2 is just does them both. Now let me take this back down. Let me go 1. Okay. So now we're back down. So now you don't really have to bind a key to it unless you want to. And I bet you if I do that, okay, so now I just turned off engine number 2. Now engine number 1. So very good. Very, very good. Very good. Well, now we're on the battery, so let's get started here. Now we're probably burning the hell out of the battery. 340 amps. Let's see if we can really burn the battery. 561 amps. That battery just sitting there going. What are you doing to me, man? You're destroying me. Anyway, it actually got an EPU thing. Can you hit this? I just noticed EPU is right here. Is it on this button here? Oh, okay. All right, something I didn't know. So this EPU right here is to signify this switch right here. Did not know that. So that's how you activate the external power unit. All right. Did not know that. And the generator came on. And the amps went down. Generator 2 is now on. Freaking awesome, man. Just awesome. Can we do anything with these? Again, I was hoping you could push one of these buttons here, and this would change everything from, from kilograms to pounds. That would be convenient. That would be helpful. But unfortunately, it doesn't do that. So, hey, whatever. Whatever. All right. So we're G to G. We're good to go. Rotor RPM is down because I don't have my collective going here. So everything is working. Go outside here. I don't know if this, I don't know on the, going left and going right. So I guess we're fine. So we'll go ahead and go up high. All right. So now we are ready to go. Now what we need to do is we need to get this back over here to maintenance, or to make sure we're at 31, and we are. So we're good to go there. Yeah, I actually have a button there, and then a button here. I don't know why it keeps them. Well, that's because that's where I left before. That's why. I'm sitting there going, why does it keep on? So you know what? If you're going to do that to me, I'm going to put you right here. You're looking outside this way. There you go. Now if I go like this, I can zoom in and zoom back out. All right, fine, whatever. All right, let's go. GTFO. November 727 Alpha Papa is taking off. Or is lifting off. You can see as I'm slowly bringing up the
transporter. Don't forget it is a qualification. Stay focused.
Okay, I'm full. Built the rotors down. Let's be on our way. I already know where we're going, so I don't have to worry about it because I've been here. This is my neighborhood. We're in my hood. So zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, I have to sing to avoid copyright. Plenty of sunshine. Have a lovely day. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Yes, I know, I made it up as I went along. I'm going to back off on my power a little bit, because I notice I'm in the red. And as we all know, when you're in the red, you're dead. Now, as far as auto rotation, this helicopter has got auto rotation. I have absolutely no idea how to do it. I'll have to be trained on how to do, or have some documentation somewhere that tells me how to do auto rotation. Because I don't know. From my understanding, what little knowledge I have on that, and that is when you're high up in the air, you disconnect the transmission from the engine. There's a disconnection somehow, and then the propellers spin freely, and then allows you to be. And the faster you drop, the more the propellers spin, and I don't know. There's, as you can tell, I don't know. So we'll just go on over here to Mojave. I don't have my site or my track IR going right now, but so we'll just, I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna pull up on our pitch, so I don't have to be sitting here trying to constantly. As far as autopilot is concerned, I can turn on autopilot right now. I can do heading. I can click on the heading button. Boom. There's the heading button. So now it's synced to where my nose is. If I go to... It is kind of going a little high on my 1,700 feet per minute. That's a little much. And then I'll have to kill the autopilot because I'm losing speed too much. I want to be right around 700, 500 feet per minute. Okay, we'll go back right here, and then we'll click on it there, and then we'll put the heading bug, flight director, nav hold. Heading hold, nav hold, okay. They were staying at 250, now our speed's going up. So it's holding the angle of where I had the helicopter at when I activated the autopilot. It's following the GPS, as it says right here, but as far as our climb, it's holding, because I was at, I don't know, 300 or so feet or whatever, 150, whatever, which is fine. As long as we're climbing, we're good. And we don't really need to go 650 or 6,500 feet. Because here's the 14 freeway right here. We're coming into Roseman right now. The advantage of the autopilot is now I can sit here and look around, you know, the scenery around me, my helicopter and the scenery around me, and see things, whereas before, when you're flying, and that right there is Roseman, that's L00 right there, Roseman's airport right there. Scenic Roseman, California, and then of course out there is the Mojave Desert, or the Edwards Air Force Base out there, out that direction. Like I said, the heat blur is all modeled in. Looks really, really good. 14 freeway running right here, and then that right there is Sierra Highway, the original. I guess you could call the original 14 freeway, even though it wasn't called. 14 freeway was built in 1972. That's linked up the Antelope Valley, which is all of this area over here behind the helicopter, to the San Fernando Valley. And let's see, we are coming up to Kern County. This might be Avenue B or Avenue A. I don't know which one. But the way all of the east and west, in other words, from left to right on your screen here, is east and west. East being the left, your left, and right being west, and left the screen being east. They're all alphabets. All alphabets are, alpha, beta, Charlie, Delta, so on, all the way to Z. How the Antelope Valley was done. And then from Division Street, going this way is east and going this way is west. So you got 10th Street, 20th Street, 30th Street, so on and so forth. That's how the Antelope Valley is numbered on their streets. They made it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. The only thing I'd like to see the developer do, or one of the things I'd like to see the developer do is, I noticed on the AW109 or 139, I think it is, they have the this little tail feather right here. It works in concert with the propellers, so it allows the helicopter to fly straight instead of flying like this. That'd be kind of cool, but maybe the Airbus can't do that. I don't know. But if it could, that'd be kind of nice to be able to have, when airflow goes over this little wing right here, that'll end up making the helicopter fly perfectly straight. But I don't know. I'm happy the way it is because I can actually look and see. But if you're flying a real one, it's probably different. Swig of water for the working man. And we've already got it in our visual sights already. We just need to know what runway they want us to land on. So I'll go ahead and give them a call. Or actually, I won't give them a call. All I'll do is I'll just listen to the weather. Or I can go over here on this other weather force thing. And weather force tells me that altimeter is 3003 and winds are at 280 at 28 knots. Winds gusting to 34 knots. Damn! Damn, I say. That's the Antelope Valley for you. Winds are 280, so I'll just come over here. I'll just land this SOB. Autopilot off. Back off on my collective here, so we start our descent like crazy. Probably doing all kinds of things that I'm not supposed to be doing. I don't need this. I need to go back to this. I need to put my trim back in. 3-1. There. 3-1 on my trim. And then I'll get my I'll continue to let this thing fall. Oh, just for funsies, let's fly around here and see if we can find a helipad here in Mojave. Let's see if a helipad is here. I would think there'd be a helipad around here somewhere, but I just never found it. Probably breaking every FAA rule in the book right now. Thank God we're in a simulation, right? Because the wind's at 280, so that means I need to be flying in this direction to land. Or that direction. That way. That way or that way. But I'm curious to see if there's a helipad anywhere. Okay, what is this? What we got over here? We got helipads over here? Is that considered a helipad? I don't know. But we got one over here too. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. What is this? I would say those would be helipads, because why would they have the T? If that was a sock identifier, then the sock would be there. Right? Oh, I don't know. Then you got these little boxes right here in the middle. I mean, are they intended for you to land right there with a helicopter and then you do your, you know, and then you do your taxi? Maybe. But for us, we're just gonna come around over here. We're gonna go down here at the end of the airport just to kind of nose around a little bit. Sorry about the frame rates. I need a better computer and I just don't have the money for it. So, look at the wind. Look at the sock. That sock is telling me I need to be landing from this way. This direction. And also too, there's a nice little big concrete thing right there. You know what we're going to do? We're going to land on that concrete thing. Switch my view back. Bring it on down. Try to control this. Bring it on down. Because of that wind, I need to be over here like this. Bring it on down. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. Too much, too much, too much. Too fast, too fast, too fast, too fast. Back up, back up. There you go. That's called a recovery. I recovered. I recovered. And we'll, because of the wind, we'll just go right here. We'll land on this little spot right here. Gosh, this thing is fun. You guys are missing out, man. You got people that are on the fence with this helicopter. You're missing out. It's just too much fun. Just come on over here, and we'll set it down right here like this. Boom.
Transporter form dispatch. Okay, you succeeded. Good job. You can now fly with all planes of this category.
And we go over here like this. One notch down. And by doing one notch down, now we're into idle mode. We'll go ahead and turn off engine number. Well, actually, no. What we'll do is we'll go back over here, and then we'll activate the ground power unit if it'll let me. Maybe it won't let me do it, ground power unit, until after no, there's two reasons. Either I had to turn off the my switch on the honeycomb in order for me to be able to activate the ground power unit, or it had to be where I had to stop both engines for the ground power unit to be plugged in. I don't know which one. We are done. Yay! We made it. Now I can fly this helicopter. All my jobs, which mainly are going to be the SARS missions. So we are good to go. I just got to pick a job and we'll go do it, and that'll be another video, another flight somewhere or something. So I appreciate everyone watching. I hope you liked this flight, and I hope you liked all those little additions that the helicopter has and what Neofly version 3.0 has got for us. Like I say again, things just keep on improving and getting better and better and better with the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform. I am just chomping at the bit and just rolling my hands and just saying, please, please get this. You get study level aircraft for the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform, and just continue to get the flight model and all the other systems the best that they can be. I just can't wait for that stuff, because that's what people like me want. Is we want the complete package. We want to be able to have our visuals, and we want to be able to have our study level, our high quality stuff, and people like me are willing to pay for it. Hey, I got no problem giving you cash. You just got to give me what I want, and that's capitalism. Capitalism with a capital C. Anyway, guys, you guys take care. Catch you guys next time. Definitely like, subscribe, and if you feel my content is worthy, I do have some donation links down below. Have yourselves a great one. Laters. Bye.